What?
Hey, everybody, welcome in to the WatchQuant Daily Deal. This podcast is going to be a quick 10-minute daily deal where we're going to share with you a deal that we identify in our target list at watchquant.com. Now, if you don't know anything yet about watchquant.com, it is basically two things. One, it is a fully searchable, really accurate pricing database for anybody who wants to understand, is my price is good? Did I buy at a good price? Am I selling at a good price? Like, what's fair for my watch or the watch I'm looking to buy? If you want to learn about a watch, this is one of the best places to do that, because we actually have some of the deepest data you could possibly find, data that nobody else tracks on watches. Second, we have a methodologically driven way for traders who are probably new to build inventory, turn over their inventory quickly, and to sell watches profitably while also building a great reputation and a good business that's customer centric and going to, over time, build you an incredibly awesome and very profitable business. So, today and through every daily deal, we're going to show you a deal from that very specific second ladder point, right? We're going to show you a target watch that has a target price with probabilities of profit, risk reward ratio. We're going to give you all the nitty gritty of why this is a good deal, not just based on our gut feel, but based on real market data that nobody's tracking except for us. And we hope that it'll be valuable for you and that you might consider doing this deal. Remember, this is not investment advice. I'm here with my boy Gustavo. So Gustavo, welcome in.
Hello, hello. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, sir. So Gustavo is going to be actually piloting this. He's going to show us how you can actually do this yourself. Every single one of these daily deals you can do yourself. You just go to watchquant.com. You have to sign in. Once you're signed in, you can actually do exactly what you're seeing here. You'll see exactly what you see here. You don't have to sign in if you don't want to. This is completely free to use if you don't want to sign in. If you do sign in, though, you can do these daily deals yourself and search for your own daily deals. But we're going to give you the target ones that we see because, well, we've been doing this a while and this is our company. So, any case, what are we doing today here, Gustavo? We clicked on the navigate button there on the bottom left, and then we're going to see
Right.
a
So,
list of liquidity, right? Go ahead.
yes. So there will be this navigate button down here, and we will see a list of about 25 to 30 different watches that are the most liquid for trading right now, which means there's high demand, there's high supply, but there's high sell through. And these watches are moving quickly. They are the best for trading because we won't be stuck with them for too long. So, taking a list at all these watches, there's a lot of beautiful pieces here. Let's just click through quickly so we can see exactly what is out there. I've personally really been into IWCs lately. So I'm going to take a look at this IWC Pilot's Watch Automatic Top Gun. As we can see, the first important note here is we have a price range. This is the range that we expect this watch to sell for today. This is the fair market value. This is the bread and butter of a watch trade is the price. Now, the second most important feature we have is liquidity. This highlights that we will not be stuck with this watch if we get it for a good price. Liquidity is the measure of how quickly and how likely we are to sell this. We will be able to sell this watch for at the fair market value. Is there anything you want to touch on here, Matt?
Yeah, I think it's just worth noting quickly that the numbers you're seeing here are retail numbers. So if you are looking to get into watch trading, you want to buy this watch and make a little money off of it. We usually aim for 5 to 10% of a profit margin. Then you would actually be aiming to sell it at around this FMV number, and in that way, you'd be selling it at a great price compared to the market. And it's always great to not race to the bottom by any means, but to sell watches at a great price. That also means you have to get them at a great price. And one of the things that Gustavo is going to walk you through here is not only identifying one of these watches in the wild, but also how we can negotiate to exactly which target price we need to acquire this watch for in order to make that sale at that FMV price, to make a beautiful deal, make friends, build reputation, and build a great business. So, Gustavo, take it away. What do we do next?
Absolutely. So once we've identified that there is a watch that is liquid that we're interested in, I personally like to go and see what is out there. So I typically check Chrono 24 first, and that will take me to the homepage for this exact watch. It'll show me all the listings on Chrono24. And then my typical next step is sorting by price, low to high. And I avoid the Japanese, Hong Kong, any location that's outside of the United States. I don't typically deal with unless it's just a deal you can't look away from. So that leaves us with the
Just say if
lowest.
you're in country, it avoids a lot of issues. So if you're in Hong Kong, go for Hong Kong. They actually have the filters there at the top of this page, and in eBay as well, you can filter by location.
Exactly, exactly. And that's an important note. We are located in the United States, so we deal with domestic watches most frequently. So that leaves us here with the cheapest listing on Chrono24 for a United States based model of this watch. And so I click into it and I see that it's in very good condition. It's 2021. It has original box, original papers. Those are all great things to see. I love to see original papers. That is very important to me. The box, not as much, although I do love seeing it there. And as we can see, we click through these pictures. It looks like it's in good condition. And this is a watch I am definitely interested in. So that leads me to is going back over to WatchQuant, and now we are going to analyze this deal. Okay, so here we click on the price check button, and we input all the information about it. For your convenience, we have this pre-owned button, which automatically inputs the excellent watch condition with box and papers. I'm going to adjust this down to very good because that's what it's listed on as in the listing. And as we saw, it does have box and papers, no other features, no short links. All this is
Quick note:
correct.
you see that the price range has changed now. So we have multiple calculators here built in, all in the same place, so that way you can know exactly what you want to be selling this watch for based on the condition of the watch. Every watch is a little bit different.
That's right. That's right. And every watch is negotiable, which we'll get into in just a moment. But that range is what determines that. It shows us that not all watches are the same. So once we have all the information inputted here, we can go and click on over into market analysis. Matt, I'd love for you to walk us through this side of things.
Yeah, so with market analysis, this is where things get a little bit nerdy, but at the end of the day, what we really want out of this, and this is our methodology, right? We did target. Why did we do target? Why did we target this watch? Well, this watch was, as Gustavo said, one out of around 30 watches. There's 10,000 plus watch models we could be scrolling and looking at for good deals. We're looking at one very specific watch because it is in high demand. Well, there's other things about this watch that tell us if it's worthwhile or not. Liquidity is super important. But based on the price and the spec that we've already entered, based on the watch we found, we also will be able to figure out what our probability of profiting on this watch is if we buy it at a specific price. So what you'll do next is you're actually going to click the optimize button up there at the top left or on the bottom right of this screen here. See, it says set optimal price. Either way, it's going to set it to this very, very specific optimal price. Meaning if you acquire this watch at, what is that, 38.23, if you got it at 38.23, you would have a 71.25% probability of profiting and a 34% probability of getting exactly the right price, meaning selling it at FMV. But at the end of the day, what we really want here is make sure that we always have better than 50-50 probability of profit. That's the key. If you can always ensure you'll have better than 50-50 probability of profit, no matter what, you will win over statistically, win over time. We have one other really important metric here, though, that just gives you that extra edge, right? If you have a better than 50% probability of profit and a 1-to-1 or less risk to reward, meaning less than 1-to-1 reward, right? So risk, you want a little bit lower risk than you have reward. So let's say you're risking $500 to make $500. That's great. In this case, it says we're risking $654 to make $654. And that for me is great odds if we have a 74% probability of profit as well. So this is going to be a statistically advantageous trade. And this is the only platform in the world, in the only market in the world, where you have this much of an edge on the market when you take action. So go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. One other important thing I want to note here is the estimated carry time. Carry time is the amount of time it will most likely take you to sell this watch. So in this case, it's 24 and a half days, give or take. And this is a longer carry time for a more liquid watch. However, it doesn't rule us out as still something with a great deal. And of course, the lower we list it, the more likely it is to sell quicker. One important thing about the pricing and the analyzing of this watch that I like to do is, as Matt said, you want to have over a 50% probability of profit. I'm fairly conservative, so I like to raise this even higher. I like to adjust this using these buttons here or typing into this field to get to about a 75% probability of profit. This sits better with me than 50% because I am not as risky as some other people. So that is one thing to consider as well. And so my target price, I'm going to try and aim to get this watch for around $3,700. And as you can see, if we adjust this down to 3,700, boom, over 75% chance probability of profit and about a 40 to 50% chance of the selling at the FMV price in 30 days. Okay, so where does that lead us
Not to
now?
mention amazing risk to reward, right? If you reduce that down, that's a 5 to 7 risk to reward ratio, which is excellent. What I like to do here, one more thing, is grade the trade, because that way you have something to take home with you. It's something tangible that you'll get in your email. You'll be able to remember just in case you want to come back to it, and it'll give you something that everybody recognizes. Everybody went to school and got an A or a B or whatever. You can see that the trade grader that we had built into this actually already puts everything in for you. So you see even Gus's um, login email that is there, all the pricing, all the spec we already put in, it's already there. So go ahead and submit and let's see what you got. If you get like a C or below, you may not want to do it. But as you can see, based on Gus's uh, pretty conservative $3,700 optimal buy price, this is a really good trade, right? A plus. This is definitely something that if he can get it at this price, will be a really almost unfairly good trade. So he may need to come up on price, but this is it's good to start on an A plus because you may need to anchor low so you can negotiate to a more reasonable maybe B plus, right? But you always want to have a good grade if you're a grade person. You always want to have optimal probability over over a 1-to-1 risk to reward, or under 1-to-1 risk to reward, and over a 50% probability of profit. If you do all of these things, you will always have a statistical edge on the market, just like a casino has the statistical edge on you when you go and gamble at a casino. That's how they stay open over the long term.
Yeah, absolutely. And what this makes me think of is that I might be too low. My goal is never to lowball anyone. I don't want to disrespect anybody's listings. In fact, my goal is to make allies or friends in the watch community. And I won't be able to do that by lowballing individuals. So, with this being the case, I recognize that this is an insanely good price. It's most likely far too low. So, with this being a liquid watch, I will probably raise this back up to that 3,800, maybe even $3,900 price. Although the FMV was around $4,100 for this watch, so I'm probably sticking around $3,800 to $3,900. Next, we are going to make an offer for this.
Yeah.
So,
And while you fill this out, go ahead and fill out the form. You guys can just watch and fill out this form. It's worth noting, right? What Gus is walking us through here is an entry level trade where realistically, after fees and everything, by the way, all these calculators take into account carry cost and fees. So you don't have to worry so much about calculating those. It's all done for you. But what's really important here is Gus is actually going for really a very conservative amount of money here. It sounds like a little bit, $300 to $400 win. Well, that's okay because what you get out of a $300 to $400 win is actually a 5 to 7.5% win. And if you put it in percentage from a percentage standpoint, compounding percentages means that if you're always making 5 to 7.5% on most of your trades, because you're going to be getting an edge on every trade based on these numbers, most of your trades are going to come back with a winner, and you're going to make 5 to 7.5% on every single trade. If you compound that and don't take out money from your bankroll, you will, over the course of say 50 trades, maybe you're doing one trade a week, 50 trades a year. What does that put you at if you start with a $5,000 watch like this or a $4,000 watch like this? I mean, it can really compound to an amazing what you might call APY, a really amazing return over time. So you can see Gus is entering some negotiation terms here. You don't have to necessarily go nuts here because what this is going to do first is going to create a draft for you, but ultimately the point of this is we want you to have all the tools you need in one place: the targeting, the analysis, and then the documentation. So that way you can actually create a PDF, send it to the person making an offer, and then ultimately using our e-signatures platform to make it official. So both of you sign it, and you have some recourse. If God, gosh forbid, something bad happens, you need to go to court. Always good to have a signature on both ends. Not to mention our reputation platform, which, like I said, not to mention, we're not going to go there. We want to make this simple for you. But if you'd like, here you go. You have your invoice right there. You can download it, send it out, or even just keep it for your own business records. Highly recommend keeping your records tight, and we help you to do that. Okay, so you can see that we do have the PDF now. So Gus will download this PDF. He'll go back to Chrono and he'll make a quick message to that seller. Chrono's really good at allowing you to open up the channel. Your goal generally with these trades is going to be to convince them to come off the platform. Now, don't tell Chrono I said so, but you can actually save them about $500 by doing so, because they will pay less in fees. You will pay less in taxes. I'm not telling you to break the law, pay your taxes at the end of the year, but you'll pay less in fees as well. And if you do that, then this guy will be okay with coming down to Gus's price, because he's going to save a whole bunch of money by not utilizing Chrono 24 to make the trade every time. Or if you do use Chrono 24, then maybe there's some room to move and you can still get the trade. And again, you don't have to swing at every pitch. If you can't get the right price for this watch, there's 30 other watches that we could be looking through. Many, many, many listings, many, many, many ways to do this. And ultimately, we're really just aiming to make a few trades a week in order to make that compound interest work for us. 5 to 7.5% makes you friends when you buy and when you sell, because you're never aiming for too big of a profit. You're always giving good deals on both ends. So you see that Gus is putting in his price here, $3,800, $700 difference. And ultimately, Gus may ask to come off of the Chrono platform. That's what I might do. Maybe Gus won't do that. But if you can get his price, this is going to be a fantastic trade. Okay, so Gus is interested at 3,800. He's going to put that in, and if he wanted to, you don't have to. Go ahead and submit that. If you want to do this yourself, you can actually take the link from the live WatchQuant page you just looked at there. If you send that link to somebody, they'll be able to see the live version of this of that offer. So it's an invoice, yes, that you would download as a PDF, but it acts as an offer with e-signatures. So it's just like a DocuSign. So you can actually send the DocuSign to this person, or even just share the page with them so they can see it themselves and make their decision right there on the page. They can accept it, they can counteroffer, they can do whatever they want here. So it's really, really quite nice. You have an actual inline on the web offer, but you also have a PDF offer. You can use it however you like. We just want to give you the tools that you want to use, how you like to use them.
Exactly. Exactly. And so we will see what will happen. We will update you guys later this week with whatever happens related to this specific deal. But I'm excited about this. If I can get this for $3,800, I'm going to make some money and I'm going to have a great time. So,
Absolutely. So let's just recap here, right? We did target an IWC watch because it's super high liquidity. High liquidity means high demand. We go for high demand watches instead of low price watches because high demand watches move quickly. You don't want to hold on to watches for a long time because they might go down in price during that time. And realistically, that's opportunity cost. You don't want to lock up your cash for too long. Okay. We aimed for, based on our calculators and our liquidity number, a $3,700 to $3,800 buy price because the FMV is 4,100. We know that if we could actually list this guy at 4,100 based on the type of watch it is, which we found on Chrono, we would actually be able to make an easy 5 to 7.5% on this trade if we get it at the price we're looking for. So we went ahead, used the inline platform to generate a PDF invoice, which we sent over, and we made the offer. In 5 minutes, we are on our way without lowballing anybody to getting a beautiful watch, which will sell in probably a couple days, less than 3 weeks for sure. And hey, starting our business off on a really good foot. So that's our daily deal today. We will update you if we come back. If this guy rejects outright, if he calls us a low baller or whatever, we'll let you know. We're going to stay transparent on every one of these. So expect another one tomorrow. Gus, anything else?
That's it. That's it. We will keep you guys updated, and we want to thank you for checking on us.
All right, guys. Take care. Peace.